Hello, good evening and welcome. As one famous old Wellingburian used to say, welcome to the 1540th edition of Wellingborough Talking Newspaper. Your readers tonight are Christine George and John Callow, and Carol Wilson and me, Peter Lawman. Your engineer is Martin Percy. So here are your first two readers, Carol and me, or should that be Carol and I?
Campaigners fighting for street lights to be switched back on hope to argue their case at County Hall next week. On Tuesday, the County Council's Cabinet is to discuss a private finance initiative to replace about two-thirds of the existing 66,000 street lights in the county with high-tech versions by 2016. Campaigners from Corby, for more than 3,000 streetlights have been switched off to help the County Council save £2 million a year, plan to present their case at the meeting. And Corby and East Northampton MP Louise Mensch is arranging for representatives of Corby Streetlights Group to meet council chiefs face-to-face later this month to hammer home residents' anger at the blackout. She met campaign organisers Melanie Ewell and Tony Clenaghan yesterday for a tour of the areas of the town experiencing the most problems since the switch-off. The MP said, "I'm hoping that a meeting between County Council leader Jim Harker, myself and campaigners can take place before the end of this month. It is clear to me that people in the town are very angry, and it's my job as an MP to represent them." While I welcome the County Council's private finance initiative to introduce high-tech lights, and we all appreciate it has a large hole in its budget, my concern is that it will take from 6 months to 5 years to introduce the new proposals. There will be even more pressure on the County Council to reconsider this when the lights are switched off elsewhere in the county. Mr Clenaghan has been collecting names on a Corby-wide petition calling for the lights to be switched back on, which has been signed by more than 4,000 people. It will be handed over to Mr Harker at the meeting. Mr Clenaghan said, "I have disabled parents and my mum uses a mobility scooter when she visits friends. Now with areas of the town so dark, she is reluctant to go out in the evening. Why should people be forced to stay indoors because they are fearful?" Anyone with petition sheets is asked to hand them in to the campaign organisers as soon as possible.
And as a follow-up to the first news item, a new multi-million-pound scheme could see streetlights switched back on in Northamptonshire towns by 2016. Work could begin to turn lights back on in Corby as soon as October if a private finance initiative is given government approval. The scheme would see the county's current old-fashioned lighting stock of 66,000 streetlights replaced within 5 years with high-tech white lights, which would use 40% less energy and cost less to run. The announcement came after a huge backlash over the decision to switch off half the county's lights as part of a money-saving exercise. Councillor Andre Gonzalez de Savage, County Council Cabinet Member for Infrastructure and Public Protection, said, "A lot of the street lights that have been switched off will go back on again. There are two factors to a street light, the structural column and the lights. A total of 20,000 columns will be left in place, but they will have better lighting technology installed, and 46,000 columns will be replaced, but they will be replaced with less numbers and the quality of light will be much better." We very much envisage the project starting in Corby, and I would very much hope that within the year people in Corby will start to see a change in terms of what lights they have. I hope that people will understand the bigger picture. I appreciate people's concerns, but this is a 5-year project that will actually improve the lighting in our communities. Construction company Balfour Beatty has been named as the County Council's preferred bidder to carry out the scheme, which would cost the county £3.69 million a year for the next 25 years in repayments. Streetlights were turned off in Meadow Close, Higham Ferrers, last week. Resident Valerie Simpson said, "It has been like the black hole of Calcutta here since the lights were switched off. I think it's disgusting to switch them off in the first place. I think it's stupid to spend more money switching them back on again after turning them off. If they had the money to spend, I could understand this, but why switch them off in the first place? Melanie Yule, head of the Corby Streetlights campaign group, said, "I'm 100% in agreement with switching the lights back on, but it's such a radical move, and I'm baffled by the reasons behind it."
A sponsored bike ride will see staff from a county council school cycling 60 miles for charity. Staff from St Mary's School in Burton Latimer will ride from the Wash in Norfolk back to the school on Saturday. Half of the money raised will go to the riders' chosen charities, with the other half being spent on improving school facilities. Mel Barron, one of the 5 school staff taking part, has already raised £300 for people with Guillain-Barré syndrome, a disorder which attacks the body's immune system. She said, "I'm nervous this will be quite an achievement for me as I snapped my Achilles tendon last year. I've done a lot of training, but there are others in the group who've done far less. I'm sure they'll be fine though." To sponsor the team, contact the school on 01536 722 757.
Less than 20 households have requested not to have a wheelie bin when a new rubbish collection scheme is introduced in East Northamptonshire. The new recycling and waste service will be introduced on August 1st after new bins are delivered to residents in July. But some people have opted out of the scheme. Charlotte Tompkins, waste manager for East Northamptonshire Council, said, "We have had just over 400 general inquiries relating to all aspects of the new service, which is only about 1% of the total number of households, and most of these are from older residents needing assistance with their collections. We've been putting out lots of information on the new scheme, and every property will get more detailed information nearer the time. Less than 20 properties have requested to opt out of having wheeled bins, and there are a small number who asked us to provide them with smaller containers as part of the service. Anyone who does decide in the end to opt out of wheeled bins will still get a black sack collection, but on a fortnightly basis, together with the option of the weekly food waste service using the food caddies provided by the council." Vivian Chettle of St Margaret's Avenue in Royston is among those who are against the new bins. She said, "I think there must be more than 20 people who have requested not to have them, and I also think that most people won't complain until they've got them. I think the majority of people are apathetic and they won't say anything until it's too late." A series of road shows offering advice on East Northamptonshire Council's new recycling and waste service takes place across the district over the next 2 months. Council staff will be at Rawn's Market on June the 24th, and on June the 25th they will be at Higham Ferrers Farmers Market from 9 until 12, and Thrapston Charter Fair from 2 o'clock until 4:30. A road show will also take place at Earthlingborough Library on June the 29th.
Dog owners will be urged to join the fight against crime through a new neighbourhood watch scheme. Dog Watch is being introduced to encourage people to report anything suspicious that they have come across while walking their dogs. The scheme is being launched in Wellingborough and East Northamptonshire, and if it proves to be a success, the scheme will be rolled out across the rest of the county. Neighbourhood Watch County Chairman Ian Fernley said, "It's a sad fact that the missing link in solving crimes is often hidden in out-of-the-way places in our countryside. Dog walkers are often the means by which vital evidence is found as dogs stray into areas not normally frequented by passers-by." The scheme is being backed by Northamptonshire Police and East Northamptonshire and Wellingborough councils. Chief Inspector Gary Ashton said, "Dog walkers are frequently the first to discover something out of the ordinary in their area. Through this scheme, I want to build on the Neighbourhood Watch network to also include dog walkers across Wellingborough and East Northamptonshire." Dog walker Tim Kelly, 39, of Beaujett, said, "The scheme is a good idea. Anything we can do to help each other these days has got to be a good thing. Anyone interested in enlisting can attend the launch event from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturday, June the 18th, at Pets at Home in Castle Fields, Retails Park, London Road, Wellingborough. For more details, call the Dog Watch team on 03000 111 222, extension 5724.
Schools have just one day left to save their lollipop ladies. The Save Urchester Lollipop Lady campaign group has led the way in the fight to save the school crossing patrol service after Northamptonshire County Council announced plans to axe the service. In a dramatic U-turn last month, the authority said it would maintain a service if at least 10 local schools, parish councils or community groups would be willing to follow the Urchester Group's plans and pay for it themselves. The Urchester Group reached its funding target this week after raising more than £1,700, and County Councillor Sue Homer and Urchester Parish Council pledging to donate the rest. But at least 9 more schools need to pledge more than £8,000 to fund their own crossing patrol for the next 3 years if the County Council is to continue running the service, and so far 6 have confirmed. Richard Hall from the County Highways Department said, "We don't expect all of the money to be paid immediately by July the 22nd, but we need to have an agreement in place." Melanie Duncan, who has spearheaded the Save Urchester campaign, said, "It's a great outcome for us, but we are urging other communities to get the money to keep their crossing patrols and save this service. We have a very busy main road going right through our village, and a lollipop lady is important for our children's safety." Urchester Parish Council and Councillor Homer pledged to support the campaign financially at a meeting on Tuesday night. Councillor Homer said, "I will find the £2,500 for the first year, and I will come up with a third of the money for the second and third year." Councillor Pam Armstrong, chairman of Urchester Parish Council, said, "I think it's quite sad that we have got to the point that we are being forced into funding this service, and at short notice. The timing has been absolutely disgusting." Julia Allison, head teacher of Urchester Community Primary School, said, "The school's position has been to support the campaign."